let's do this.
We need to have a serious talk. A talk about a problem that keeps getting smarter, meaner, and far more automated than anyone ever expected, including myself. Yeah, swatting has been around for quite some time now, but what happens when the hoaxes have AI voice cloning, spoofed GIS breadcrumbs, scripted panic responses, and a workflow designed to bypass a dispatcher's instincts? We're entering the swatting arms race, and that's some serious shit because the callers aren't human anymore. Stick around, that's coming up next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Most of you have heard it before. 911 call comes in, the caller sobbing, panicked, rambling. The audio cracks, the background noise sounds real, and the details line up just enough to pass the sniff test. You mobilize your teams and units respond. Tactical gears up and you're seconds from breaching. Then the, quote, victim walks out the building with a sandwich in one hand and a confused look on their face. Congratulations, you've just been beaten by a synthetic hoaxer with a GPU. Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch. I'm a NENA certified ENP. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm bringing you the latest, most insightful, and occasionally panic-inducing looks into modern emergency communications. Today, we're stepping into, once again, one of the fastest evolving threat categories that's facing ECCs right now: AI-enhanced swatting. This isn't just prank calls anymore. This is AI-generated audio, AI-written scripts, synthetic distress, spoofed coordinates, machine-generated panic, all designed to weaponize your trust and bypass your workflows. Let's break down what's happening and what we can do to stop it. Newsflash, the hoaxers have upgraded their toolkits again. You know, it wasn't just a decade ago that a swatting call was painfully easy to spot. Horrible acting, shaky details, and the caller couldn't keep the story straight. All they need is a consumer-grade AI tool and a Reddit thread. We're now seeing hoaxers use AI voice cloning that simulates victims, suspects, including kids, elderly, and non-English speakers, all with emotion baked right in. Synthetic background audio, explosions, screaming, radio chatter, not looped and streaming in real time. The more sophisticated ones have spoofed GPS coordinates that create a false geolocation matching the narrative, and scripted panic. You know, AI agents generating elaborate stories with zero hesitation or inconsistencies. And PSAP red teaming, people literally using AI to test ECC workflows and find the narrative paths that get tactical responses faster. This is no longer a guy doing a voice. This is an AI playing chess with your call flow. Why this is happening now? Well, the answer to that's simple. It's because the tools got cheap, the GPUs got powerful, and the public safety system still assumes the caller is real until proven otherwise. Now that assumption has served us well for over 50 years, right up until someone made an AI that can cry and scream on command. The pattern. High emotion plus high detail plus high confidence. Don't kid yourself. AI hoax calls are engineered. They're specifically designed to trigger time pressure, force immediate escalation without leaving room to think. They sound way too real, and again, they're designed to bypass the critical thinking. These calls are optimized to trigger the responder instinct that we rely on, and they do it quite well. The operational red flags you'll start seeing more often. A lot of AI still follows recognizable patterns, like perfectly clean audio but chaotic background noise, the lack of a changing breathing pattern, zero latency on answers. There's still a bit of a delay. Sometimes there's an unrealistically consistent emotional tone. Many times you'll have the presence of overly precise details, maybe some geographic references that are technically correct but contextually suspicious. You've got callers who never stop talking, preventing interruption or questioning, and the total avoidance of open-ended questions. You see, AI doesn't like ambiguity, and that is what makes it detectable. The reason why this is an arms race, because as we get better spotting synthetic callers, they get better at building synthetic callers that don't trip those flags. On the dark web, you'll find entire online communities that are actively sharing prompt engineering tips like how to simulate crying without sounding fake, tips to avoid dispatcher suspicion, hacks on how to create fake GPS breadcrumbs, and tactics to respond for information and details that you didn't plan for. This is actually AI red teaming public safety, and not in the fun cybersecurity way. They're doing research. They don't care if they fail, because if they fail, they learn. So how do we stop it? Well, here's the good news. We're not helpless. And NG911 actually gives us tools that we never had access to before, like behavioral pattern analytics. You see, it turns out that AI callers are oddly consistent. Human panic is sloppy, erratic, nonlinear. Synthetic panic is actually perfect in its chaos, and that's what makes it detectable. Next is metadata validation. AI hoaxers can fake audio, but they can't fake network origination headers, true geolocation, device attestation, the carrier of record, and verified identity tokens that are coming in green channel ecosystems. You see, next generation 911 lets us validate the call chain in ways that the legacy analog 911 never could. Next is real-time voice stress and model detection. Several vendors are currently piloting synthetic voice detection that's been tuned for NG911 environments. It's not there to accuse the caller, it's there to alert the call taker that the signal may not be human. And then we can bring CAD to the fight. Remember, CAD can trigger things that highlight facts like a known swatting target address, unusual emotional monotony, device and carrier inconsistencies, unverified location data, and specific high-risk synthetic audio signatures. Your CAD can actually help the call taker, not just document the incident. Then we've got enterprise-level partnerships. Schools, campuses, corporate offices, and even celebrities can now get NG911 aligned safety ecosystems. EIDO information and real validated building and people data can easily disprove a hoax in seconds. The endgame? Verification without hesitation. The last thing we want to do is slow a response. But to accomplish that, we need to speed validation. So that makes the future a workflow where the story, the identity, the location, the device, the metadata, and the behavioral signatures are all getting checked in parallel, not sequentially. Because AI hoaxers are fast, our verification must be faster. Yeah, it's a foot race, but we've got the lead start. That wraps up today's episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you find the content useful. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on social media at Fletch911, and you can visit 911tips.com, where you'll find a full archive of our previous episodes. My blogs are available at fletch.tv, and my professional website is fletch911.com. Stay safe, thanks so much for listening, and if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every single day. I'll see you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good.